So, sorry about that. Point is, all this time passed by, and I kind of forgot about it. So, yeah, I don't know. I just never would have ever thought that I'd actually get a letter from them one day apologizing for this. Because, like I said, this was ages ago. Like, this was so long ago. And it definitely was not the reason I left. I was very, very much of the mindset that you should never leave because of the sins or faults of another person. Don't ever let them stumble you. You know, don't let other people take you away from Jehovah. So I never would have left because of things other people did. Um, but it's ironic that they thought that they were just so, they had that much of an ego that they were so powerful as to getting me to leave. You know, I think that shows a bit about the mindset that they have. And now my baby's trying to tear up my letter. Anyway, so yeah, when she goes on about the messages changing from invitation to learn to invitation to learn because this is your warning. Oh my lord, hey. Like, what fear mongering. No wonder that they are having these, she says, sleepless nights. No wonder they're having sleepless nights. Because they're listening to this kind of fear mongering. Yeah, apostate family fear tactics, exactly. They're listening to these kinds of fear tactics, like, all the time. And okay, they might not be aware that I am very much aware of Tony Morris's words in the 111th talk from the annual meeting, where he goes on and on about, look at your hands. There's blood on your hands. If you don't go out in service enough, there's blood on your hands, you know? So, no wonder they feel scared and guilty and having sleepless nights and having to write this pathetic apology. Because let's be honest, guys, this is a pretty terrible apology. It's like, this is the extent that they can see that they've done wrong. Because it's too hard for them to accept that they were taking advantage of a younger person. It's too hard for them to really realize how low what they were doing was. So their apology basically consists of, we're sorry, you know, you were the child. We should have remembered that you were the child, so we are sorry. Which is not really an apology, it's kind of just demeaning. But this is how scared they are. They're so scared that they have to write this pathetic apology in hopes that, you know, just in case anything they've done is the reason that I am no longer a witness. Which, I mean, like, how sad, you know? So, it's not a very good apology, though. So, what do you do, though? What, this is what all I'm gonna get. And I didn't expect to ever get anything, so I'm not, like, upset that they didn't say more in this letter. I'm just kind of like, it's funny and also sad. And do I think they were sincere? I actually do. I think they're as sincere as they possibly can be, because exactly, black sheep, we're above everyone, deal with it. They are sincere as they can be, because it's too hard for them to realize what they did was wrong. It's too hard for them to really see that. So they will block it out and rationalize. And now that I'm the one who left, they can say in their heads, well, you know, we can apologize in case we had anything to do. Because, see, look, you know, the only one who won here was Satan. You know, and we'll have to answer to Jehovah for what we've done. You know, just in case, sorry. But ultimately, Satan won because you left Jehovah. We hope that we can be sisters again. Why can't we be sisters now? Why is there this, you know, holding out of love? You know, because they just can't see. They can't see how ridiculous they sound. you know? And they are sincere as they can be, I believe, but unfortunately, they'll forever be blinded to the ridiculousness of their words until they can see for themselves that they're just wasting their time in a fear-mongering organization. All right. So when I first got this, I wrote a little letter back. I didn't actually send it to them. It was more or less like, all the thoughts that initially came to my mind made me want to write something down. So I wrote a very short something back. And I think just for the comedy of it, I'm going to read it. All right? So, hold on, my little girl. Hold on, my little girl. I think she wants to come up again. There we go. Come on. There you go. All right. Where is my little letter? All right. Here it is. Their names. Thank you for your concern. I am touched that you cared enough to write your letter. But I want to put your mind at ease to let you know that neither of you are the reason I stopped attending meetings and knocking on doors. I'm not going to say left the truth because I don't really think it was the truth. I forgave the two of you a long time ago. I don't hold any resentment or grudges. I'm familiar with Tony Morse's talk at the annual meeting, where he encouraged everyone to look at their hands and see that they have blood on them. I actually feel very sad that so many people are driven by their guilt and fear, that they feel so obliged to write letters to people to try and make amends over petty disagreements that happened ages ago, all because they don't want to die at Armageddon. That is so sad, and it is no way to live, and it isn't living, in my opinion. Always looking for any sign of the end. The end that was supposed to come in 1914, 1925, 1975, and then come before the generation of 1914 came to pass. It still has not come, and I believe that it never will. Please don't worry about anything that happened between us in the past. Just worry about how you're spending your time and wasting your life. Sincerely hopeful, Meg. So that's what I wrote when I first got the letter, because all these thoughts were going through my head. Like, I was in a combination of like laughter and sadness over the fact, like, I actually do feel sorry for them. Like, I do, because if I'm going to be quite honest, the woman I worked for, yes, she went too far. She took advantage of someone who she knew I really liked her as a person. She knew that I looked up to her a lot. So I think she got a little carried away and thought she could do a lot more. Thank you, Black Sheep. Thought that she could do a lot more to take advantage than maybe she would have with another person. But I also played a role in that by allowing it to happen to me, for so long. And I feel like I did the right thing by quitting when I did. And I also feel like that, her hating me because of that wasn't warranted. And I just got to a place where I mourned the loss of the relationship that we had, and I moved on. But I didn't beat myself up over anything, because I really didn't do anything deserving of that kind of hatred or resentment or whatever the feelings were that she was, coming at me with. I didn't feel that I deserved it, but I wasn't gonna continue it on. It was just a vicious cycle that I just didn't want anything to do with. So I let it go a very long time ago. And I think despite what she did, she actually was a good person in a lot of ways. And I do miss the friendship we had. And at a lot of times I look back and I have some fond memories. So I don't hate her. I don't hate her or her husband, or I don't. I really don't. And, maybe there was reasons why she didn't want to give me a raise. And that could be the case. But she didn't explain those reasons to me in any kind of a helpful way, or in any kind of a way that proved that, I really wasn't good enough or deserving enough for the raise. And let's be honest, guys, in any situation where JWs work together, those kinds of problems arise. And it's happened not just in my case, in lots of other cases. So I'm not surprised that it happened. Yeah, your best friend shuns you now. I'm not surprised that that happens. My best friend also, the one that I had when I left, she kept writing letters year after year for so long. I haven't got one from her in a very long time, but I've maybe got like 3 letters from her, and now it's been like 6 years since I left. But she never wanted to socialize that much anymore either after I left. So I get that. There's a lot of preemptive shunning, even if you're not disfellowshipped. That just happens. Especially depending on how you're living your life. If they think that your lifestyle choices aren't good enough for them. You know, in my case, I'm living with my fiance, now my fiance. So, but I'm not married, and therefore I'm living in sin. I'm a terrible human being because I'm not married. Even though I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. I don't necessarily have anything against drinking or smoking or even certain drugs at occasion or times, but I don't actually really do it myself. There's a whole host of things I don't do that you might think I'm a very prude person or something, but no, it's just not who I am. And anyway, but they'll shun you anyway, not to go off on other tangents. So that was this letter. Very, very weird. Very shocking to even get a letter like that after so long. I just remember being like reading it and laughing. Oh, that's okay, Tom. Autocorrect is very annoying. There is nothing wrong with 2 people living together and loving one another. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all, actually. But some people do, and they shun you because of it, especially if you leave a high control religious group. So, anyway, that's all I have to say, I guess. And that was a very, very weird letter to get one day walking into work, I tell ya. And I don't really have a way to answer her back because she obviously just dropped the letter off. Or what I think happened is she got her stepmom to drop it off because her stepmom brings her dog to my shop to get groomed, ironically. So I think she got her stepmom to drop it off. And that's so funny that I don't really even have a way to get back to her unless I write, do you think I should send this letter, guys? I mean, I don't really want to. Kind of want to just let it go, but on the other hand, it's like, maybe I do want to. Maybe I should package the letter up and get her stepmom to bring it back to her or something. Let me know what you think. Yes, I do view her as a victim of indoctrination. Obviously, she has, in her letter, you can see very clearly that she is very much mentally involved with it. So, if you don't want to, you are the only one that can control that decision. That is true, Black Sheep. Thank you. So I'll figure it out. I'll think about it. And I don't know if I want to keep it going, but a part of me wants to say some of the things I wrote here. A part of me wants her to know. Because I don't want her to actually think. I don't want their egos to swell up anymore, that they actually believe that the petty, ridiculous ways they treated me those many years ago was the reason I left. You know, it is just weird. And that's a good point. She's trying to pull you back into a dysfunctional relationship. That's a good point. It wasn't a healthy relationship. It is frustrating. It wasn't a healthy relationship, and it could just be that whether the both of us were witnesses in the past or not, it could just be the fact that she wasn't a healthy person, likes to take advantage of others, and is trying to do that now. Oh, that sucks. You still get letters like that from your parents. That's the worst. Yeah, that's the worst. When people actually think that, and that's what most of them think. Most of them do think that the reason you leave is because you must have been stumbled by somebody. And they just can't understand that there could be legitimate reasons that have nothing to do with anybody else, but just between you and your understanding of things. And they just can't get that. So, anyway, guys, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I don't want to babble on too much, but thank you very much for listening. And yeah, I'm gonna upload this video and talk to you guys later. Bye.